People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, we actually played Nottingham Forest later today. I'm going to be at the game. Don't know what time I'm going to get home. But with that being said, we might as well speak about some potential points, people. The first one being, Emery has said in relation to Hector Bellerin and Tierney, he said, with Hector and Tierney, we want to use them, obviously, against Nottingham Forest. I don't know if it's in the starting 11, if they are feeling well. We need fresh players and different players. I think we're not going to repeat one player who started on Sunday, which is a good thing because it means Aubameyang's rested. And it throws up, for me, I look at left back because I do think Zach Swanson on logic should be on the bench. He can play at right back, he can play at left back like he's been doing at 23s. If I use Emery for what he said, Kolasinac isn't going to be involved. So that means Swanson, it could even be it could be Saka at left back, it could be Swanson, or it could be Kolasinac it could be Tierney starts for an hour or so and Kolasinac comes on for half an hour. There's a couple options we can do at left back. But so I'm looking at is if Kieran Tierney starts, is he going to complete 90 minutes, which could be good for him. He got an hour against Wolves. He gets 90 minutes now, gets a couple of days rest and recuperation and training and things. And then obviously on next week, Monday, which is, we might as well just call it just literally a day less than a week. We might as well just call it a week. He's good to go. Bellerin, the same, people. Obviously, Maitland-Niles has a left ankle injury and he's not expected to return until October. So it's, regardless of what you feel about Maitland-Niles or his form, it's sad to lose one player. And in terms of depth, we're losing another player who could potentially cover or compete with Bellerin for that right-back role based on where he's been playing. You've obviously got Chambers. Now, Chambers is a centre-half by trade. Potentially to get games, right-back could be an avenue for him with Maitland-Niles' poor form, with Bellerin nursing his way back to fitness. Chambers wants to play in centre defence. He's got chances in midfield in his actual original role at Fulham last season before he was converted at Southampton. So you never know. But I'd love to see both of them complete 60 to 90 minutes and then obviously be subbed because if it's needed, because obviously they're behind. For me, it obviously throws up a wonderful opportunity to the young players. I would love to see Saka start again. He might even, now that I think about it, I didn't really pay much mind to it. We might have Saka at some point do a job for us at left back. I want to see Martinelli the most out of all these young players. I love them all, but I've seen him the least. And obviously he's Brazilian, all that stuff that comes with being Brazilian and his sort of style of play based on what we've seen. You want to see a bit more, man. You want to see what he's on, simply put. I'd love to see Balogun Balogun, both, either Balogun or Tyrese John-Jules or both of them. Love to see both of them start. They've both been doing what they need to do at 23's level. For Tyrese, he's been on the cusp of the first team, done his thing in pre-season and whatnot. I feel it's a good chance to play one of these young strikers, or if not Martinelli through the middle, to play in front of to realise their dreams. This is what they've been working for as young men. They want to play for Arsenal. Dare I say, want to score a goal at the Emirates. There's no Eddie. Aubameyang's in the form of, well, one of our best form players. Lacazette's injured. We might as well, there's no Eddie, like I said, we might as well allow them to get game time, people. He's also said he thinks Holding will play on Tuesday, which is today as well, which is another plus point because Holding, Bellerin and Kieran Tierney, they're seen as people that slot right into our first choice 11, especially into defence. I don't feel any of them are really going to make the difference in that. I do think Arsenal fans are looking at it and just assuming that these lot slide into the team. It's as simple as they're announced in the starting lineup on the little Sky Sports infographic, little images, and we're going to defend like a prime Italian side in the 80s. It's not going to work like that, is it, people? You lot know it isn't going to work like that. There needs to be a system and things, and I do feel at times, well, we haven't seen Tierney play for this club, but Holding and Bellerin have been savaged apart and have looked as clueless as everybody. There needs to be a structure. Or Van Dijk could come into this team, he will still look as calam as everybody's looked, within reason, because there's no structure. So, but either way, I'm keen to see what they're on. Obviously, they put pressure on Socrates and Luiz and the rest of the players that haven't been informed because they might lose their places, and it just gives Emery more options to work with. And we all just want Rob Holding back. He's not perfect, but I love Holding, and he's my centre half in it. I've got more time for him than I have the other centre halves currently at the club, man. I think we just need to give him games and allow him to iron out the things he's not bad at, he's not good at, and let's move forward, people. And just move sort of forward. Just a couple thoughts on Callum Chambers as we're here. He said, people asked how it felt to be on loan and watching Arsenal from a distance. I think they thought I'd be jealous of Holding starting every week before his injury. But that's absolutely not the case. He's doing so well. He's a good friend of mine, so I'm happy for him. I was playing games. I was at Fulham and playing games, so I was happy as well. To see us both playing was great. Unfortunately, he got a serious injury, but he's done well to come back from it. He's worked so hard to come back stronger, so I can't wait to see him kick on. In relation to being dropped by Luiz, dropped for Luiz, obviously, with the Newcastle game in mind. Obviously, I was disappointed to be left out after he kept a clean sheet, but I respect the manager and his decisions. We've spoken about my situation, and I know that I have to work hard in training and help the team whenever I get the opportunity. Now, Callum Chambers isn't perfect either, people, but I believe in places on merit. I believe if Guendouzi's playing well, Willock's playing well, because I'm going to highlight them because they've been in good form, they should rightly so be team first names on the team sheet within reason. If you're not in good form, you shouldn't be. Now, Chambers is no idiot. He knew playing regular football at Arsenal is going to be tough. He signed a new deal last year. The manager rates him and things, but we knew he was probably presented with the offer like for the last couple seasons. He's allowed to leave. They probably won't force him out. They'll entertain offers because of he can bring in a 16, 20 million, but they will allow him to leave, sort of thing. Do you get it, people? They'll allow him to keep it moving. So I wouldn't say opportunities were going to be hard to come by, but he'd have to bide his time. And it almost, I wouldn't say his fault that he's not playing, but if he did go somewhere else, he could have made more of an advancement. He wants to stay at Arsenal. He wants to make a fight of this. This is the club he wants to be at, which I admire. But it means he's probably behind, whether rightly or wrongly, he's behind Luiz and he's probably behind Luiz and Socrates in Emre's thinking. Obviously, Holding, apparently he's been given no assurances that Emre will slide back into the team, but Holding's ahead of him. We've got Saliba next season. There's talk of bringing in another centre-half. So Chambers, it runs the risk of not being able to really get game time. And Holding and Chambers as a centre-half pairing, we've seen them get destroyed. But for me, our experienced centre-half pairing in Luiz and Socrates, they can't play any worse than Chambers and Holding. Chambers deserves a place on merit. If Chambers plays tonight or against Man United, for example, and he's terrible, he shouldn't be in the team. But I believe places on merit, man. And he done his thing against Newcastle just based on them games there and the opportunities he's got. He deserves a look in. Now, it's funny how football works because Maitland-Niles isn't a right-back by trade and he doesn't want to play there. But at the end of the day, if he didn't show a willingness to play right-back or play there, how many games would you play for Arsenal? And you can't underestimate how many each game brings you closer to being more of an established professional footballer. I'm talking career appearances. So Callum Chambers, we know his chance ironically came at right-back as well at Arsenal. He's earmarked as a centre-half. He's learned his trade as a central mid. Last couple of years he's filled in at right-back here and there. Because of Maitland-Niles' injuries and his inconsistencies of late, Chambers, that might be a role for him. Now, Bellerin's back. How back is Bellerin and how we rehabilitate Bellerin and things like that is another story, admittedly, people. But it is what it is. I think we should give Chambers some game time, to be fair with you. It's only right. That's all I wanted to say, people. There's nothing more to add. I thought Ramsey scored his first goal for Juventus as well, people. I thought I'd leave you with some stats. Aubameyang has 16 goals in his last 16 games for Arsenal across all comps, and he scored in each of the last 4 games in a row, scoring 5 goals. So Aubameyang is in great form. Callum Chambers obviously scored at the weekend as well, and he has 6 Premier League goals, and they've been scored under 5 different managers: Emre, Scott Parker, Ranieri, Agnew, I can't say his name, that's probably from his Middlesbrough days, and he scored for Wenger twice, so that's a crazy stat for Chambers. Apparently, there was 89 seconds between Pepe equalising for Arsenal and Wesley putting Villa back into the lead, which shows, again, game management. You're just vulnerable when you've just scored. Ironically, we did that last season at Old Trafford, the team we've got next in the league. These are the lessons these players need to learn, people. Game management. I do think a part of that is on Emre because he needs to teach them, but at the end of the day, these lot of professional footballers, what is said in these moments, people, do you get it? Maitland-Niles has been sent off twice in the Premier League in 2019. The first Arsenal player to receive multiple red cards in the competition in the same year. We have to go back to 2013, which also was 2 and was done by Lauren Koscielny. So, and both of them red cards, I don't feel either one was a red card. I'm obviously speaking about the Leicester one. both play, obviously when he got sent off against Madison conned the ref, and the ref just simply got it wrong in the latest game. But he's given the ref a decision to make, and he's also in a recovery position. So if he looks at them goals again, potentially could he have defended better in these moments? That's something you'd have to ask him, people. He's not at the club currently, but apparently Saliba is expected to return back to training very shortly in the next, well, it said today, and I believe this was tweeted yesterday via one of them Arsenal accounts. He's expected to return to St Etienne training. We all know he's been at Arsenal a couple of times for his rehabilitation, and he was at Watford away, and we know he's on loan there for next season. So he's on loan at St Etienne to come back next season. So we want him to be fit and healthy and whatnot, and he's a defender we want to see the look of next season. As Raul Sanllehi said, he wants him to be our centre half for the next 10 years. 18, 19, 6'4", describes himself as a footballing nerd, which shows me his mentality is there to want to learn and the first to improve and stuff. And I'm excited to see him in the next couple of years. I'm excited to see him next season, but I'm excited to see what he looks like at 25, 26 for his potential. Will he be here? Or will he be at the Madrids? Will he be at the Barças? And things like that. So that's all I've got to say, people. I'm going to keep it moving. On that note, people, DG, thank you for watching and rocking. As always, I'm out.